Hi, I'm grateful. Let's continue on this pilgrimage of love. What I'm going to talk about in this video is simply the idea of love and acceptance from others' perspective. I'm trying to be as non-biased as I can on this, yet the whole idea and the theory of this is that love is acceptance. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to talk about, and we're going to look at what others think about love and acceptance. Again, I want to say something, and I'm saying it for me too, because I've been learning a lot within this journey. This is my ideas and opinion on love. I'm looking for a meaning for myself. And I saw something the other day that brought this up again, and I was watching a vlogcast, and these people were talking about relationships and dating and languages of love. And one of the girls had read the book, The 5 Languages of Love. Well, actually 2 of the girls had. And they then asked one of the guys on the panel, what is your language of love? And he made a comment about how he liked to be loved, and both girls just went, no, that can't be. It's not one of the 5. Now, in no way am I going to put down that language of love. I think it's an absolutely amazing book. I'm going to be going into that in future videos. The point I wanted to put across here is they had made their meaning of love and what it is from that book. And that's just one person's view of it. There could be other languages of love, because honestly, I listened to what the gentleman said and I went, you know what? That is something different. It's all okay. The point is, I'm sharing my meaning of love with you so that you can just look at it and then start taking a look at what your meaning of love is. Because I'm telling you, already by doing this myself, I'm learning a lot. So, let's go into looking at others' meanings of love. And first off, let's go to Wikipedia. Now, Wikipedia is very interesting and has a lot of different things. It has, looking at my notes here, and I'll throw them up there for you. Love encompasses a range of strong positive emotions and mental states, from the most sublime virtue or good habit, the deepest interpersonal affection, to the simplest pleasure. Then it goes on right next to say, and this is what I've been talking about, love considered to be both positive and negative. We know the positive of love. You know, that is helping others, doing others, caring for others. There's also the other side of love, and that is the self-love, the egotistical love, the obsessive love, the codependent love, and those are definitely not positive love. So right there within Wikipedia, they come up with happy peppy and it's not so good. Now, here we go. In ancient Greek, they had the 6 different forms of love. They had the familiar love, they had the friendly or platonic love, the romantic love, the self-love, the guest love, and the divine love, which is the agape, which I learned in the church, which I've never really understood. And now it's raining out here. Okay, I'm back. Just had a downpour there. So let's continue. I just went over the ancient Greek philosophers and their 6 meanings. The reason I'm going to go over all this stuff is just so you can see how complex love can be. So the next one we have here is modern authors have distinguished various varieties of love. And I'm not even going to go into those. Just look at how many different ideas they have about love. Then, culturally, different cultures, different countries, they have different ideas and meanings about love. I know, having gone through Asia, they definitely have different ideas of love than America. So, there, just all the different stuff in America. I now go to different countries and I didn't even study all the different things there, so you can see how complex this can get. Now let's go to the scientific idea of it, because scientific research has found more about the emotions of love as time goes on. And this is from Wikipedia. Wikipedia is, anyone can put something in there, yet others can look and have stuff added or challenged within it. And so this is what I found, and what it is that they have come up with a color wheel theory of love, defines 16 styles of love. And what they ultimately came up with is that love has additional religious and spiritual meanings. This diversity of use and meanings, combined with the complexity of feelings involved, makes love unusually difficult to consistently define compared to other emotional states. So as we can see, even from Wikipedia, love is something that just can't be defined. So what I'm doing for myself is this idea of, what if there was a definition of love? Wouldn't it make it easier? And I'm going to share something within this video. This is a longer video that came out of looking at all of this. So now let's look at acceptance. From Wikipedia again. Acceptance is when a person expresses approval or agreement to the reality of a situation, recognizing a process or condition, often a negative or uncomfortable situation, without attempting to change it or protest it. Here comes the rain again, taking a break. Okay, I'm back. A little humid, but the rains have stopped, so let's continue. We were talking about acceptance and the meaning of acceptance. Now, the concept of acceptance is close in meaning to acquiescence, whatever that word is, derived from Latin acquiescence, which is to find rest in, and acquiescence is the reluctant acceptance of something without protest. Okay, so there's two things I'm going to look at here. First is the reluctant acceptance. We can approach or react to acceptance in two different ways. We can approach it reluctantly, or we can approach it willingly, eagerly, and with a desire to move forward. The choice is yours. Well, which comes to the second part, which is acceptance, love is a willful act. In other words, love acceptance is a choice. This isn't the something that happens in the moment thing when you see someone and it's just out of control. I'm not talking about that sort of love. There's really no mindset that goes into acceptance. That's more of a lust or a sexual reproductive desire. And we'll talk about more of that in upcoming chapters. With love acceptance, trade-off and compromise are not part of the equation. It is simply, do you accept this or not? If you accept it, you fall more in love and acceptance. If you accept something or someone, you do not barter, trade, or compromise. You accept it from your heart. This form of acceptance feels good. Now let's see what others say about love and acceptance. I looked at quite a few other people, and there was a couple that just stood out, and when I really looked at those two, a lot of things related and made sense. So let's first look at the Dalai Lama and what he says about love. Love is the absence of judgment. As we step aside from our egos, we have an opportunity to love more deeply and more strongly than ever before. When we do not judge either ourselves or the other person, we allow ourselves to taste the ecstasy of true, unconditional love. What we don't judge, we accept. In this case, the Dalai Lama is talking about what we do in the moment. When we have an absence of judgment in the moment, we are accepting what is in the moment, or as Eckhart Tolle says, accepting or surrendering to the now. Eckhart Tolle wrote the book, The Power of Now, and it's a very powerful book. It helps you understand everything there is just in this single moment, which is what the Dalai Lama was talking about. Now, if we look at Eckhart Tolle, what he says about acceptance, he says, acceptance is surrender to the now, response to anything occurring in the moment of life. There, strength, peace, and serenity are available when one stops struggling to resist or hang on tightly to what is given in any moment. What he's saying is, when you just release yourself in the very moment where you are, don't worry about your past, don't worry about the problems, don't worry about the bills, just accept what is happening right here, right now. And for me, right here, right now, I am sharing with you on this video. The rain is starting to come again. And I surrender to it and I accept it all. And being that I accept it, we'll take another short break. Okay, I'm back. Now, reviewing quickly, the Dalai Lama says that love is the absence of judgment, and to me that would be love is acceptance. Eckhart Tolle says that acceptance is surrendering to the now. And I think, and I believe, and it looks like if you put those two things together, that within the moment, any moment in life, if you just surrender to that and accept it, that is the ultimate love, and that's what you're doing for yourself. That would ultimately be that. So, Eckhart Tolle then goes on to talk about love as far as conventional love as we know it is really to fill something. It is a lack of surrendering. Many times we will bring something into our life that we love, and what we're actually trying to do is avoid something else. Many people will smoke cigarettes and they will do that to cover up something. That we will love exercising, but what we're actually doing is trying to avoid the pain of breaking up and losing someone. Even when we bring someone into our life, I will say this for myself, it was to cover up something that I was lacking or missing in my life. And while I was still finding joy in the relationship, I could see what they saw in me was not filling what they needed in their life, and so they weren't accepting it and they left. So that is the other side of love that we have to look at and understand. And that's where I love this idea of acceptance. Do we accept something into our life, or are we just bringing it in to cover it up? And when we start asking those questions, that's where I think we can really start seeing where love is. Okay, this is one of the things I found that was pretty amazing. And this goes with what we've been talking about, surrendering to the now, acceptance, love is lack of judgment upon ourselves. This is a very critical stepping stone into creating a better life for yourself and to creating love for yourself. Knowing and acknowledging and accepting what is in your life right now. I don't care about your past, how negative it was, if you're broke, if you're in sickness or pain or anything. This is coming from me. What I'm doing in my own life right now with my knee and my body is I have to accept where I am, what's going on, what I have done in my past, and what is real. But like with my knee, there's things because of my past, and I did skateboarding and stuff. It's just there's certain things that might not be able to be corrected, without going into major surgery. I am accepting it because I love myself, and I'm doing what needs to be done to take care of it. I'm not stressing about all of that stuff. I'm just accepting it. And that's why I'm looking at this love thing as a very powerful and critical step in moving forward in life. Do you accept these different things in your life that you don't like to look at? Your health, your weight, where you are in life. Like me, I'm single. I'm going to look at those things and accept them so that I can move forward with them. One of the big things about this step is when you accept where you are and say, let's move forward, you are putting yourself into a positive mindset of what can I do to move forward versus the spinning your wheels of what's wrong and all of that stuff. That's why this is so powerful. Love acceptance is the doorway between our inner world and the outer world. The more we accept, the more we fall in love. Each step of accepting ourselves or someone else is like falling more in love with them. And the more we accept that other person or accept the self, the more love we get for the self and the deeper our love grows. We will discuss this idea of unconditional love in a relationship in upcoming chapters. I know this video is long, yet I've learned so much about it. There's another miraculous thing about this acceptance love, and that is the more we love, accept others and ourselves, mental, spiritual, and physical transformations take place. And what I mean by the physical transformations is called neuroplasticity. Most of us, we think down of ourselves, and then when somebody says, how you doing? Oh, I'm feeling down, and blah, blah, blah. That's a pattern in our brain. It's literally neurons in a circuits. And when you start accepting yourself, and so somebody goes, how you doing? And you change it to, I accept myself. And you go, I'm happy. You change the patterns, and you literally form new circuits in your brain. And it recreates things in your brain. It's called neuroplasticity. Check it out. It's real. And so by doing this more and more, you're going to be creating more circuits, new ways of thinking. This is a magical thing from love acceptance that we probably didn't even think about. So, there's one more thing I want to mention here about love acceptance, and that is love acceptance is a decision. You choose whether you accept something or not. Love is the only emotion feeling that can feel good and bad. We talked about this earlier. And there's ambivalence, yet ambivalence is a state and mainly a mindset, and it's not the same as love. So yet love is something totally different. Yet, is love really a feeling, or is it something else? I've been wondering about this, and I'm going, if love is just simply making a decision, then that allows us to focus on and think about those feelings that we are feeling once we have made the decision. Because when you make a decision to accept something, there's a good feeling. What is that feeling? Is it happiness? Is it joy? Is it peace? Usually we lump all those things together and we call it love. But what if love is actually a doorway to let us start singling those things out? So if you're with someone special, yes, we can say we love them, but what if instead of that we go, you know, I love you because you make me feel at peace. You make me feel at ease. You bring a calm over me. And you start actually explaining to them what those things are. And you know, to me it would be really nice to see how their love changes according to a situation. You know, if we're up mountain climbing and they go, you know what, I love you because you make me feel secure. You make me feel, you know, and all of those feelings. And it's like, wow, that's really cool. You just get all these different things versus I love you, I love you, I love you. And I'm not saying anything negative about it, but I've just been thinking, wow, is love this thing? Is love one? It's the decision, and we can choose versus just the chemistry emotion thing, and I'll talk more about that in an upcoming chapter. And then two, is love a doorway that instead of just allowing those emotions to lump, to let us really start focusing in and really feeling each of the individual feelings, which for me I know feels a lot better and is more powerful. With love acceptance, if you don't use it, you'll lose it. You know, with yourself. If you don't accept yourself in the moment, your days passing by that you're not in love with yourself. If you don't accept someone else, if you don't love someone else, don't let them know, you might lose it. The more decisions or acceptance that you make in your life about things, persons, everything, just life itself, the more you're going to fall in love with life. And the more acceptance that you do of the world around you and of love, the deeper you're going to fall in love with life and the world around you. And that is when you start kicking it up into gratitude. So I have a lot more notes, but I'm just going to cut it off there. I'll put other stuff out. I learned so much into this, diving into what is acceptance and what is love, and I personally think I'm on the right track. So in the next video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over kind of scientific things and just things I found in different areas to why I feel love is where it is in relationships to gratitude, and we'll look more about this doorway of love into the good things of your life. And with that, I am grateful. I have no idea on how I'm going to edit this video together, but we'll figure it out. Where's my cap? You know, a pilgrimage is when you push on through to make it happen. And this pilgrimage of love is one pilgrimage. I am grateful.